into a ghost. It's so cold. Oh my god. I can stick my finger through myself. Anyways, besides the fact, last night, minus 50.
Perfect. Perfect.
Last night, it was minus 50 degrees Celsius, and we froze up. Our water line froze up, our freshwater tank line froze up, like minus 50. What can you do? You can't even, like, there's really nothing you can do. I feel bad for my neighbors because the neighbor behind me on this side, their propane tank wasn't wrapped in a nice little cozy winter sweater of Reflectix, and I am assuming that their propane tank froze up last night because
that doesn't look good.
I heard them chipping away at their propane tank, getting all the frost off, and then okay, I'm blocking my face out. See that they wrapped their tank in Reflectix because when it gets really cold, everything freezes, including propane, and that's one of the reasons why I don't want to rely on my propane RV furnace, because it's unreliable in Alberta. It gets way too cold. So that's why we have the pellet stove, and we stayed, like, I woke up sweating this morning. Probably not the greatest thing, but when it's minus 50 outside, it was great. I felt great. I don't know what's going on with our door. Our door has like a gap in the frame or whatever, but our door is just a sheet of ice. I don't know what we're going to do about that, but like right around the door area stays a nice like minus 10. So if we keep any bottles of water right by the door, they freeze. Look at how much freaking space. What is wrong with my door? Jack Frost has a way to get in. Not only that, but if I was ever wondering where mosquitoes were getting in, that's where the mosquitoes were getting in. What the hell? It's so iced up. I don't even know. Boot, get out of here, Boot. Oh my, what the? What is that? What's even... There's like cobwebs with ice on the cobwebs over there. That just looks like a nightmare. I see. Not only that, but our color bottle is ice bottles. And that's just from being right at the door. This one, I think this one's still liquid. But this one, ice. Ugh, that's just not good. My blessed pompon. Got my butter and there's my water. Do I have hot water? Heck no. So you can see our water line is not 100% covered in snow right now, so I'm wondering if it would be better if I just completely covered that line. I'm a creature of comfort. I like lots of blankets and pillows and warmth, snuggles. I don't know what I'd do if even the blankets couldn't keep you warm. Because blankets will freeze if it gets too cold. And then all the moisture that comes off you will freeze into the blanket. So then you'll just be a big frozen lump. We're warm. Outside, not so warm. But if you want to be warm like us, I guess we're doing something right. I definitely recommend getting a pellet stove and having your RV furnace as a secondary source of heat, like just in case. Because I wouldn't want to rely on an RV furnace. These suck. That is my heat source. And as you can see by the mountainous volcano in the corner, I need to clean it up. I'm gonna vacuum out the stove, and then this is what I spray the window with to get all of the black stuff off. Back up to about here, and she's starting back up. horrible because I literally put my camera on top of the pellet stove. Sorry. Our main water line is frozen right now. So I turned our freshwater tank on, and the freshwater tank sounds frozen and like it's having a hard time. Kind of like what my van sounded like when I started it up. That sounded horrible. Oh my god, turn the fans off. Did not sound good. It sounded like it didn't want to live anymore, which I don't blame it. I don't even know how the birds are flying outside. It doesn't make any sense. I have to go out and get drinking water because drinking tap water is disgusting. I don't care where you live. Here I am living in Canada, in Alberta, and I think tap water is the nastiest thing you could put in your body. So husband, you did not see that. There's nothing in it anyway. So I'm gonna go out and get some distilled water. And what I did to our freshwater tank, that's the whole reason why I came on here to record this ridiculous video, is to tell you what I did to my freshwater tank. I don't know if it was the right thing, but I put some RV antifreeze into our freshwater tank so that it doesn't have such a hard time, and so we at least have a little water so that we don't have to leave our house to take like at least we can have some water to wash our hands and go to the bathroom, and we'll just like hopefully last out a week. I'm really freaking nervous and freaking out, a little anxious, a lot anxious about this cold snap lasting a week. Really freaking me out. Especially like first night of the really hard freeze, we lost our water and our freshwater tank is having issues. So that's where we're at right now, and I didn't fill my freshwater tank before this cold snap, so there's 4 lights and one of them is out, and I just feel like that's not good at the beginning of a really big cold snap. So anyways, hopefully the antifreeze in the freshwater tank kind of gives us some water. Otherwise we're just gonna have the water that I go and buy right now. That's all the water that we have for cooking, for drinking, for making coffee. Wow, I'm way out of the frame. Hi y'all. I've had the van running for a good 30 minutes and I still don't feel like that's long enough. And I was telling my husband that he should go out there, put his key in the ignition and just like leave it on, because when you put the automatic start on, it runs for 15 minutes and then it shuts off. And this morning he thought he was gonna press the button, and if he pressed the button again it would stay on longer, which when he pressed the button again it ended up shutting it off. So that's why I think it pooped out all that oil, because he obviously broke something in the truck. I have a feeling that our truck is on its last legs, even though it's the nicest vehicle that we have right now. So hopefully I don't break the van. That would be horrible if I go out to get water and I break the van. What I'm gonna do is when I stop to go to a store, I'm just gonna leave the key in the ignition and keep it running and pray to my God in heaven that no one steals my vehicle. I mean, why would anyone be roaming around in -50 looking for a vehicle to steal? Someone desperate probably. So hopefully they don't want to steal my ugly van. I just don't want to have to go out again, because Wednesday is supposed to be even colder, if that's even possible to be even colder than minus 50. I think we might legit have a nightmare winter. Remember, like, in a video ages ago where I mentioned how the coldest day in Alberta was minus 63? Up here in Alberta, it can get up to minus 40 degrees centigrade, sometimes even minus 50. The coldest it's ever been without the wind chill was minus 62 way back in the day. But I really hope it doesn't get that cold, because that would be crazy. I'm freaking out a little bit thinking that that might be this year. Ugh. Ah. Well, we're just gonna hunker down, play some vids. So yeah, we just stay in, stay warm. We do some homework. We do like video games for homework, because they're getting some brain power skills from this game. This game's called Fez. We just got it on Steam.
Later that same evening.
More deer! What the dang daggly deer's going on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more deer! Here they are, deering around. What the flap are those deer thinking? Oh yeah! Since I covered the water box and the water line with snow, our water's working. However, it did warm up, so maybe it'll freeze up again later, but so good so far. In case I do lose water, at least I can wash my face. I just got smoothies today. It was a bit of a pain in the butt going out and driving around, and I ended up just leaving the truck running with the keys in it, which I think everyone else was doing. And I think a lot of people are leaving their trucks on overnight because everyone in Alberta wants global warming to happen. So yeah, some people idle their vehicles all night long so that their vehicles run in the morning. Otherwise, they can't get to work if they don't do that. I also got these oxy pads just to open up my pores. It's minus 35 right now. And one thing I've noticed about this particular thermometer is that minus 39 is as cold as it shows on here. Anything colder is LLL. I had a sneaking suspicion that it was cold enough at my doorway to make ice cubes overnight. I figured that the temperature was going to fall to at least minus 40 overnight, and I wondered if I would be able to make ice cubes if my house was plus 25 degrees everywhere else in the house. Just a note that thermometer's time is obviously wrong. I woke up in the morning to get my husband ready for work, and lo and behold, I made ice cubes at my door. That's how cold it was. I just went outside to get this, and I was like, I'm just gonna dump this in my tank so it doesn't freeze. And the bloody stuff is frozen. Everything's frozen. It makes me wonder what my tank looks like. Be prepared for something truly disgusting. Our black tank is frozen. Everything is frozen. Well, looks like we're going to be living at the laundry house for the next week. I need to wash some dishes. My kitchen sink doesn't work. The only sink that works is the bathroom sink. And the toilet is completely backed up. I tried dumping antifreeze into it to kind of help with whatever's going on. I went down and I opened up the black tank. Nothing happened. So it's pretty much an ice cube, kind of like the ice cubes I made at the doorway. So I'm thinking that my black tank is underneath the doorway area, and the reason why I'm making ice cubes is because there's an ice cube underneath it. So I'm gathering up all of my dishes that I have accumulated, and we're gonna make our way over to the laundry room to do our dishes and maybe go poop. I even broke out my Easy Peasy because emergency times call for emergency Easy Peasy measures. And I'm gonna have to keep the van running so that we can go and poop at the building, which is like 200 yards away. It's right there. But it's like dangerously cold outside, so we're not walking there. So we're gonna be contributing to some global warming and leaving our van running all day.
How dare you!
So that we can go poop when we have to. Because if I don't leave that thing running, it's going to die. Or it just won't start. Or something will burst, like what happened to the truck. The steering line for the steering fluid burst because it's so cold outside. This in there. Thankfully, I don't have too many utensils because I strongly believe in a warmer world, and I really want to contribute to global warming because it's so cold here. So we use a lot of single-use items like paper plates and plastic spoons, and cannot forget about those beautiful babies. And we got all of these cups, a big box of forks. It needs to be a little warmer out there, doesn't it? Let's go peek at the van. See? We got to run around and we got unlimited sink access so we could wash our dishes.